Sometimes people just have bad luck. Sometimes people just can't catch a break. And in this life, you have no idea if you're going to be the person with the bad luck or the good luck. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a person that honestly has had some of the worst luck ever. And that person is Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice. Now, as an Eagles fan myself, y'all clearly see the hat. You know what I'm saying? It really doesn't bring me any joy talking about the Chiefs. Those same Kansas City Chiefs that cheated and beat us in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Yes, I said it. But I just had to talk about this tremendously embarrassing video that has blown up all over social media in regards to his own mother getting caught in 4K stealing a package from her neighbor. And we are going to get into this because there is just so many layers to unpack here. Take a look. That is so trifling, man. And not to mention just flat out ghetto. And that's just not for her. That's for anybody out there, any of you that's out there stealing packages. Like, how low do you have to go? How are y'all stealing packages and you don't even know what's in them? For all she know, it could be a lifetime supply of condoms in that package. It could be a picture frame. It could be anything. But to be caught on camera doing this shit, and your son is, a pretty decent wide receiver for, the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. And it hurts me to say that. But I just don't get it. Okay. And I really want to go back and really talk about this video because there's so many little details here that I just don't want to skip over. Let's hop into the video. Now let's look at this video, man. Let's look at this video and really inspect it because it's not that long. So we got some time to really kind of dive in here. So right there, you see a kid, okay? Now you see her, okay? That's Rashee Rice's number right there. If you're not familiar with him, that's his number. And, this is his mom, obviously, right? So she's walking down the hall and this is her neighbor's ring light that she's getting caught on. So you see her walking through. She sees the package. And now she's already plotting. Let me bring it back. She's already plotting. Look at her face. She's plotting to take this. She already knows that she's going to steal it. And now she's looking around to see if anybody else is around. Okay? If anybody else is there, if anybody sees it, what's going on? So I'm going to let it play. Then it fast forward to her coming back. Right here, you see her looking down at this package, at the floor. And you hear her literally scooting it with her foot to try and make it seem like she couldn't be more obvious with it. To try and get it from, out in front of the door so that it's from what she thinks is out of the line of sight from the camera. Just take a look. Now she thinks that she's not in the camera view. That's what she thinks. But little does she know that she's still being tracked. She's still being recorded. I'm gonna bring it back. That is so embarrassing. And you see the package right there in her hand. Like, it's right there in her hand, bruh. Like, you're not slick. You're not low. That is just so embarrassing to me, man. So embarrassing. Now, just to back up here for a second, right? Before I continue with the story, going back to earlier in this video when I said that Rashee Rice has very terrible luck. Well, I meant that because earlier this year, Rashee was involved in a terrible hit and run crash on an expressway that injured 4 people. Now, apparently it was him and, some of his friends that were speeding, going like 100 plus miles an hour on Highway 75 when they caused a chain reaction crash involving 4 other vehicles that was recorded on another driver's dash cam video. Take a look at this.
A member of the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs is apologizing and taking full responsibility for his part in a high-speed accident. Photos taken after the crash appear to show Rashee Rice leaving the scene of the 6-car crash. Tonight, his attorney says he is cooperating with the police.
We have a report of a major accident on the freeway.
Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice taking full responsibility for his role in this multi-vehicle crash that took place Saturday.
He has fully cooperated with the Dallas Police Department. Rashee was not running from anybody, trying to hide from anyone, but wanted to cooperate, which we've done.
His attorney said Rice admitted to police he was driving the Lamborghini SUV seen speeding alongside a Corvette that led to a 6-car chain reaction crash on Dallas's North Central Expressway. Photos obtained by TMZ Sports show Rice and others apparently walking away from the wreckage on the highway without stopping to see if anyone needed help. 2 drivers were treated at the scene and 2 other passengers were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Rice posted on Instagram saying, "I take full responsibility for my part in this matter and will continue to cooperate with the necessary authorities. I sincerely apologize to everyone impacted." The rising NFL star is from a Dallas suburb. He was the Chiefs' second-round pick last year. His lawyer says Rice will speak to the public soon.
He's going to do everything in his power to bring their life back to as normal as possible in terms of injuries, in terms of property damages.
Dallas police are still investigating.
And if that's not bad enough, this guy is also facing a massive lawsuit as a result of this. Take a look.
This couple filed a lawsuit against Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice and SMU Mustang Teddy Knox for injuries they suffered during a high-speed crash on North Central Expressway.
In the lawsuit, a couple describes suffering brain trauma, internal bleeding, bruising, and needing facial stitches. Police say Chiefs Rashee Rice was driving a Lamborghini SUV and SMU's Theodore Knox was driving a Corvette on North Central Expressway in Dallas back on March 30th when they crashed into 4 other cars. According to an arrest affidavit, Rice was driving 119 miles an hour seconds before the crash happened, and Knox, who was driving around the same speed, slowed down to about 90 miles per hour before the crash. Photos from TMZ show both drivers leaving the scene after the incident. The Dallas couple is seeking $1 million to cover their medical care and an additional $10 million in punitive damages.
They were just commuters traveling along 75 with absolutely no notice as to what was about to happen. It's one thing to speed and to contest yourself and slow down knowing that it's time to back off. And it's quite another thing to race somebody else and have your ego involved.
Rice and Knox turned themselves into the Glen Heights Police Department last week before posting bond. Both are facing 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of collision involving serious bodily injury, and 6 counts of collision involving injury.
It is a very hefty amount of money there. And honestly, I don't feel bad. Not one bit. Not just because he's a Kansas City Chief, but because this is completely irresponsible. And racing like this could have killed someone. But not only is he facing 8 charges with this whole thing, but he was also most likely going to be suspended for half of the NFL season once this investigation was over. But just last week, Rashee Rice suffered a bad knee injury that landed him on the injured reserve list. And he won't really be able to play for another 4 to 6 weeks. And that's if his ACL isn't torn. But if it is, then that's a season-ending injury right there. So not only is he currently facing potential prison time for this hit and run he was a part of, but he is getting sued for $10+ million. He's also suffering a knee injury that is forcing him not to play for pretty much half the season. But now to tie it all together and put a nice little bow, a nice little cherry on top of this ice cream shit day, his own flesh and blood mother is out here being Dora the Explorer and being the real life swiper, no swiping, and stealing packages from the front door in 4K. That is so embarrassing. And what makes it even worse is that his mother, Marsha Kearney, that's her name, apparently she's been doing shit like this for months. She was arrested in the spring and charged with one misdemeanor count of theft of property greater than or equal to $100 but less than $750. But over the years, this woman has stolen over 40 items that range from food, tumblers, laundry products, merchandise, and socks. This woman was even stealing socks, y'all. Now, what was in the package that she just stole, you might ask? Well, that is a great question, because according to multiple reports out there, she stole 2 limited edition vinyl Chappelle Roan records. I think that's her name. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I didn't know who that was. And when this story first hit the internet, the way that they were phrasing this story in the headlines, it was coming across as if Rashee's mom had stolen records, like as in like document records, like paper, like court records. I wasn't really thinking vinyl records at first, the way that it was phrased. But I did some research on the artist herself just to see, like, you know, just for shits and giggles, to see who that would be. And from what I've seen, she's just a singer and songwriter. And aside from some people who don't really like her political takes, there really isn't anything about her that would indicate that her records are just so valuable that you have people foaming at the mouth ready to steal them. So that let me know right there, Rashee's mom had absolutely no idea what the hell was in that package, nor did she really give a fuck. And the fact that there was a child right there, like, what the hell kind of example are you setting for that child? You are literally stealing other people's shit right in front of this child. I wouldn't be surprised if you had that kid steal shit for you. That's how trifling you probably are. Absolutely insane. I would be so embarrassed if my mother did something like this and I'm a millionaire. Like, now, after this lawsuit, I don't know if he's gonna be a millionaire anymore, though. I can't say that for sure. Because I mean, he's currently being sued for way more than his contract is worth. So I don't know. But for the time being, let's look at this. Your son is worth over $6 million. And if this stuff didn't happen this year, he most likely would have gotten an extension that would have paid him buku money, way more than what he's getting now. And you mean to tell me that you out here being a porch pirate? I guarantee you that your son could have bought you 300 Chappelle Roan records if that's what you wanted, if you wanted it that bad. He could have taken you to see her live in the flesh, got you VIP tickets. He would have got you some cheese nachos, you know, pretzels. He would have got you a drink. He would have got you, you know, a truck service to the concert. Anything, if it meant that much to you. It's just so cringy and just absolutely ratchet behavior. And I just happened to see this story and wanted to talk about it. It just made absolutely no sense to me. But there is currently an investigation underway in regards to this situation. We're going to see what happens. But I just had to talk about the situation with y'all. If you hung around to this point, don't forget to smack a like on the video. And also don't forget to subscribe for the one time. Peace.